astronauts were test pilots. You had to have an engineering degree or a degree in natural science. You had to have 1,500 hours of jet time. So I was 27, 2,200 hours of jet time, a degree in aeronautical engineering. So my card fell off. And I get this letter asking me if I was interested in going to test pilot school to go to Edwards Air Force Base en route to being the first African-American astronaut.
I draw the line in the dust and toss the gauntlet before the feet of tyranny, and I say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever.
NASA
Copyright.
this problem because just about every committee in Congress was a Southerner.
Lie.
NASA needed tax dollars, okay? So that's the reason why most of the space program facilities were created in the South. That's what they needed to get money from Congress, to get these congressmen to vote. And a whole bunch of political history comes into play.
We're confronted today with a challenge which has all the urgency and importance of our space exploration program. This is the social problem dealing with men's relationship with men.
Hidden Fingers
which
2.
not new has come into sharp focus in recent years. Your assistance, your affirmative attitudes, and your dedication to a principle that is based upon what is right, what is just, and what is fair will be needed.
Copyright fair use. Come on, man. Look at that.
I was sent down to Edwards Air Force Base to interview.
So look at what?
Chuck Yeager, who was the head of the
Listen up.
pilot school and the new astronaut program.
Chuck Yeager. Y'all know him, huh? He a hero to you.
We're turning out an entirely different breed of pilot here at the school. These guys will be working on programs all the way from the surface of the Earth to space.
Chuck Yeager, he was one of my heroes. He was the first man to go through the speed of sound. And the first phase of it was test pilot training, which was a precursor to the space training en route to being an astronaut.
The Kennedys wanted a black astronaut. Particularly Bobby Kennedy was insistent on having a black astronaut. And Ed Dwight, God bless him, was enrolled in the test pilot school. I was not involved in it, although it was going on at Edwards Air Force Base while I was there. I viewed myself as a warrior in the Cold War. I was there because I was in the military, and I thought it was extremely important to get to the moon ahead of the Russians, beat the Russians. But Yeager, he's a piece of work.
Yeager had called in the entire instructor staff, and he announced that Washington is trying to cram the N-word down our throats. He said Kennedy is using this to make racial equality. So do not speak to him, do not socialize with him, do not drink with him, do not invite him over to your house, and in 6 months he'll be gone.
Yeager said, well, wait a minute. Dwight's not doing that well. He's 16th, and we're only going to take the top 10. But if you want to expand the course, I'll take 16 in there, so Dwight will be included. And that's how it happened.
After I'd finished successfully, the White House announced we now have a black astronaut. President Kennedy called my mom and dad.
A 29-year-old Negro says he's anxious to go into space. He's Captain Edward Dwight of the Air Force, selected to be an astronaut, the first of his race to be so designated. Captain Dwight and his family got the news at their home at Edwards Air Force Base in California.
Now I'm going around the country, you know, being this first black astronaut, getting all these trophies and awards and stuff like that, letting the whole leadership of the black community know that here he is, guys. because blacks are not heroes in science and math and engineering and space and flight testing and test piloting and piloting, period, you know. But I was talking to black kids, trying to get their attention. I was going in a whole range of schools from city to city to city. And I was still in training, by the way, in training to be an astronaut. The School of Aerospace Medicine is at Brooks Army Medical Center near Lackland Air Force Base. He did every possible thing you could do to a human being in that 3-month period of time. They put your hands in a bucket of ice cold water, just one hand in a bucket of ice cold water. Well, what happens is your heart starts beating faster and faster and faster. They would stick 14 needles in your head to see your brain waves, and then you go into the centrifuge. It drains all the blood out of your head, and you can't even see. I mean, it was hell. They stuck holes in every orifice you had in your body and made holes in the rest of them. It was unbelievable.
The unknowns of space were such that when the first Mercury candidates were selected, people were legitimately or otherwise concerned about their ability to withstand vibration, high temperature, isolation, darkness, heat, and so they tended to emphasize those. By the time it got to the second and the third group,